I'm not sure exactly how it started. I didn't wake up one day and decide I was going to be bitter towards God and everyone else in my life. It came on gradually. Feelings boiled inside of me. My thoughts were consumed by rage. I resented anyone that wanted to help me. My wife and I were married on November 11th, 2006, and the trials began immediately. In so many different ways, it felt as if I was being attacked from all sides. My marriage was failing, I was laid off of work, and we had no income other than my wife's. I blamed everyone around me. The bitterness had started growing inside without me even knowing. My in-laws opened their home to my wife and me. Looking back, I know they wanted to see us succeed and grow in God's will as a married couple. But at the time, I thought they were pointing fingers and blaming me for our problems. These feelings burned inside of me. I was consumed with bitterness towards them. In 2007, barely a year into our marriage, I had had enough. I'd become closed off to anyone and everyone around me. Of course, I had it all together in public, but inside I was angry. At the time, I thought it would be better off if I left, so I volunteered to deploy to Iraq, telling my wife and family that I had been called up for active duty. While deployed in Iraq, I began to realize what war was. I saw injured young men being airlifted to the hospital on base. We were shelled daily, so close I could see the explosions and feel the impact through my whole body. Seeing these things should have opened my eyes to how fragile life really is, but all it did once I came home was harden me more. I had no one in my life that understood what I had experienced. On October 4th, 2008, my wife gave birth to our daughter. It was at this point that I had started to soften. I wanted to be a part of this little life, but once again I found myself hurting those that were the closest to me. Loved ones that wanted nothing more than to help me get back on my feet. I kept hearing them tell me, "We'll pray for you," or "You need to pray. God will take care of everything." All I could think about was how I didn't care about praying. God wasn't going to fix any of this. Before my daughter's first birthday, I had stopped talking to my wife. I resented her and her family. I thought they were the cause of all my problems. I started an internet affair with an old high school girlfriend. When my wife found out, I had to leave. In the next few weeks, I was ministered to by a Christian friend that let me stay with him. Through his kindness, my eyes were opened to the underlying sin and resentment that had been in my heart for years. I kept talking with him and eventually came home to my wife and daughter. But not all things are fixed in a couple of weeks. Things had been up and down for a while. Although I knew it was bitterness and resentment that had destroyed my family, it was so hard to keep going at times. My father-in-law would not give up on me. He kept asking me to get into men's mentoring and men's fraternity. I kept refusing, thinking that I really didn't need it. I could deal with these problems myself. Finally, I decided to try the men's mentoring and was paired with a man that I admire very much. These meetings opened me up to wanting more than just a Sunday with God. When men's fraternity started on Monday nights as a refuge group, I decided to try it. At the end of the semester, I could feel a change in my heart, and the others in the class could see a difference as well. God used my father-in-law and the friends that I walked away from to bring me back to Him. Now, I look forward to a life with my wife and little girl. I love being a husband and a father for the first time.